going to Kansas City. Kansas City, here we come, on our wild ride through the indie film world. Since the historical image of this wide-open town is filled with music, crime, and gambling, tonight's stories all feature music, crime, and gambling, all here on Split Screen. Someone once called me a bagman for independent film, but I'm strictly an amateur. In Martin Scorsese's reality-based Casino, suitcases full of cash are flown back from Las Vegas to Kansas City each and every week. But this isn't the only place that skim was going. Joseph Alexander investigates the real casino and the real meaning of the words back home.
You know, everyone all around the world, for that matter, associates Chicago with gangsters, Al Capone, rat-a-tat-tat. They don't know English, but they know Chicago and machine guns.
We're heading down to Chicago, to the Windy City, and as you may recall in the movie Casino, characters were constantly referring to back home. You know?
Back home. Back home, exactly. Back home.
Well, the back home that they were referring to was Chicago.
All right, my discussion with Joe is in reference to Norman Rosenthal, a.k.a. Frank Larry, and also known as Lefty by his immediate friends.
We would go to Vegas as a family, and I was a very young child. I mean, I was probably 8 or 9. I remember that this guy named Lefty used to pick us up at the airport and drive us to either the Stardust or the Sands Hotel.
All right. Let me take the time to explain a few things here. First off, you've got Frank Lefty Rosenthal, who's the basis for the Sam Ace Rothstein character, played, of course, by Robert De Niro. Then you got Tony Spilotro, Nicky Santoro in the movie, played by Joe Pesci. Then you'll also hear about guys like Alan Dorfman, who was Andy Stone, played by Alan King. Then you have Alan Glick, who was Philip Green in the movie, played by Kevin Pollak. Then we'll also talk a little bit about Frank Balistreri, who also makes up that composite character of Remo Gaggi. All right, so pay attention. Let's continue.
Well, I don't like arrogance, and the man was totally arrogant. Other than that, I guess he was okay, but I couldn't tolerate, like I said, his arrogance and know-it-all attitude, that he knew better than anybody else.
I grew up around Grand and Ogden, Chicago Western, that area, and you know, my uncles were connected, my cousins were connected, but I decided not to.
In the old neighborhood, my father grew up with the Spilotros and the Ratakas and all that area. They all grew up together, hung out together. That's how their association became, all of them around when they were young kids.
They were mean. They were bad news. In fact, I had a that took a fall for one of them, otherwise he'd have been wound up in a trunk.
Knowing Tony, when I met Tony and when I saw him as a kid, he was always a crazy guy. He always had a very, very hot temper. But when he came into town, he wasn't in town that much, but more of the stuff that I saw was really around the Chicago area. I'd go hang out with my father, and these guys would all meet in the back room. They'd all hang out together, play cards, and I'd be sitting there and hanging out with me and little Vic would be hanging out, screwing around the corner.
Tony, he was NG. He was bad, just like the movie portrayed him to be. He was bad, he was mean, and he would just do anything to anybody and had no conscience. That's all I can say.
No, Tony Spilotro, okay, you on? Tony Spilotro wasn't a bad guy. He just had an awful temper. So he had an uncontrollable temper. Now, it's enough now.
There's a scene in the movie where, you know, they're in a bar and, you know, they set it up where a guy comes in, you know, Ace, you know, Lefty Ace comes in the bar and he shakes hands with some woman and then sits down, sees a pen, picks up the pen. Is this your pen? You know, and the guy, you know, is that, well, who is this guy? He doesn't know who he is. He turns around and he says, yeah, it's my pen. Take that fucking pen and shove it up your ass. Then the Splatro Santoro character comes over, stabs him in the neck, and they make, you know, a big scene of that.
He was never volatile like that in a public place, or even if there was a couple people around him. He was not like that. He'd have somebody else do it before he'd do it. But he did, I know he did some killings from it, just from talking to my father and doing other things. But he was never volatile, like, you know, he'd take someone and just punch him right in the neck like that. He had a hot temper, but he was not like that.
To me, they're what give Italian people a bad name.
Mike was very, very small time. He wasn't that big at all. He was more of a happy-go-lucky guy. And the story that betrayed him is like bringing him out there, being like, you know, I'm bringing my brother in as being the, you know, bringing him in as being next in line with me was a whole bunch of bullshit. And the whole idea was just for Tony to go talk with some other guys, and that was it. Mike was just there at the wrong place at the wrong time. And basically, subsequently, what happened is that they went out there. Michael was in the wrong place at the wrong time. They got beaten to a pulp.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
A lot of it, Alan Dorfman was, he was basically Jimmy Hoffa's protege. He did a lot of stuff with the Teamsters, did a lot of loans for the Teamsters.
Well, this is the hotel where Alan Dorfman, the Andy Stone character played by Alan King, this is where he was gunned down.
Well, it's really weird. Before Dorfman got killed, we were with him 2 days before he got killed. We had lunch with him, and I would never thought the guy would have been gone 2 days later. And I was like probably about 12, 13 at the time. And my mother saw his mother like almost, I don't know, was that day or the day before. I mean, his wife, I call his mother because I know his son. The day before, and it just, he was gone.
Two gunmen in ski masks came out of nowhere and said this is a stick-up. His friend ducked behind another car, and they shot Alan Dorfman 7 times in the head. And later at the crime scene, they found 8 shell casings, so apparently 1 shot missed.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
I think we got to go outside. I want to talk to you about something.
Really?
Yeah, it's important.
All right.
Okay?
Let's go.
Joe, I think you got to watch out what you're doing, because I don't want my name associated with the outfit.
You think it's something to worry about that?
Yeah, I think it's something to worry about, and I also think that you ought to watch yourself and not associate your name with it either, because it can make a bad name for you.
Think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
I'm real concerned about it.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
All right, good.
You're hearing things like, don't say this, it could get my place blown up, or don't say this, because you could get somebody killed or something.
And we'd walk out, we'd always have a remote car starter on the car. It was funny because it didn't start a couple different times, like 6 months apart, which was kind of scary because you're thinking, well, we're not going to get in the car. We didn't get in the car.
Sold him a car, a brand new Oldsmobile, and maybe about 3 weeks later, he found him in the trunk of his own car. Car that I sold him.
No, it's enough now.
Can I come sit next to you on the piano bench and play us one last little short piece? Got one
Oh,
left in
let's
you?
see, what could I do?